are you, Dr. Oz?
Hey, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Always good to see your face.
Same, Bobby.
We got a lot of questions, and I want to talk about some shows that you have coming up. We've done this many times, so I'm just going to start firing away. Are you ready for me?
Take it away. I'm making office hours here. It's like being in the hospital.
All right. First off, energy drinks. We were talking about them on the show. How safe are energy drinks if just in moderation?
If you're getting less than 200 milligrams of caffeine, and you can see how much is in each can because they vary, but that's roughly 2 cans, I think it's okay. However, my big issue with energy drinks is not whether they're safe or not, because I think you can get away with drinking energy drinks. The problem is, do they really work the way you want them to work? So they're not really giving you energy. They're withdrawing energy from your energy bank. So they're taking energy you would have used over the course of the day, and they turbocharge it just for that hour or two that you take the energy drink. So later in the day, you're going to feel depleted. So you either got to take more energy drinks or do something else to make up for the deficit. It's like withdrawing money from your bank account. The credit card gets you money, but it's still, depleting your total worth. And that's what energy drinks do.
That's interesting. So you only have so much money or energy in the bank, and you can only take out so much before you got to put more in. And an energy drink is just giving us a boost, but it's going to hurt us more later. That's basically what you said, right?
That's perfectly said, Dr. Bones.
Thank you.
By the way, you would have been a good doctor with that last name. That would have been perfect.
Hey, I have to get, this is a little personal one. I have to get a little colonoscopy very soon. And I'm 41. I'm a little young, but I have like some severe stomach issues, some severe IBS. Yep. I haven't done this. Like, what am I expecting? Here's the first question. Should I clean up? Like for the doctor? That's my first honest question.
So I have a lot of experience. I had my life saved with a colonoscopy, and I don't have any family history at all. But when I was age 50, I went in to have mine because I was hosting the show already, and I wanted to demonstrate, lead by example, that it was the right thing to do. So I went off and got it. And they found a precancerous polyp, which stunned me. Because I eat right, I exercise, no family history, no nothing. So you're smart to get your colonoscopy. In your 40s, people ought to be thinking about it. Yes, you should clean up because doctors do notice those kinds of things. Don't be ashamed about things you can't clean up, but do your best. You don't want stuff hanging out when the doctor's examining you. But the real breakthrough idea, I'll tell you, in the old days, they would give you this gallon jug of material that was horrible that you'd have to drink down, and then you'd eventually poop everything out. It's like putting radiator fluid in your intestines. Now, the tactic that I've adopted, and most people I think who have had more than one colonoscopy learn this, is don't eat much the day before the colonoscopy. And then the day before that, eat very lightly. So that by the time you're taking whatever you take, it's very gentle because there's nothing in your intestines anyway. And it washes it gently, like wiper fluid, not like you're pouring heavy stuff into your intestines. And that way it becomes a pretty comfortable prep.
Yeah, that's interesting. So even with the prep, it's not going to be as hardcore on your body. I'm a little concerned. I mean, they got to put me under, like after I wake up. I mean, I'm just going to feel the same, right? After I'm awake, like that's not going to, like I'm not going to be sore or anything.
Well, they don't usually put you under. They give you propofol, which is, when used correctly, a very safe medication.
I'm not going
You're
under?
actually going to go into a twilight zone. You're going to feel like $1 million while they're doing the colonoscopy. Some people sort of want to ask for a little extra, but we don't give it to you. But it's a pretty positive experience for the most people, and it wears off immediately. So as soon as you're done, you can actually get the information you need, go home, within an hour. It's probably, that's why it's actually used, unfortunately, by people who are addicted, because it gives them such a comfortable sleep. But you get yours for medicinal reason.
Oh no, I thought I was going under. I honest to God thought I was.
But in a way, you're being like sedated-ish. Like whatever I took, I don't know. I had a colonoscopy when I was 20 for some stuff. And I remember opening my eyes and seeing my intestine or inside, wherever the camera was, on the screens. Yep. Like I could see what the doctor saw. And I remember that. And that's crazy.
I thought I was going under.
Yeah,
I'm a little shook right now.
Don't look back, whatever you do.
Okay. Dr. Oz is on with us. Let me ask this. Is it safe to get the COVID vaccine and the flu shot?
Yes. It's a big study just came out actually yesterday, done in the United Kingdom, 700 people. They got the shot at the exact same time. They looked for side effects, none. So you might have the arm soreness, the little fever from the COVID. The flu doesn't give you the vaccine much of a side effect, but for some people it does. So if you take them together, it doesn't seem to make it any worse. If you're worried about it, you can divide them by a couple of days, put something in between like a shot of tequila. But generally speaking, you should be fine however you want to take the vaccines. But get them.
Dr. Oz, I've never, until recently, I'd never been to a chiropractor, and I've had some injuries on my shoulders and someone recommended, hey, I really trust this person. I'd always, and don't know why, I'd always had a bad feeling about chiropractor just from people going, oh, they're evil. They're not real doctors. Again, no reason for me to think that at all. So I just had always had that in the back of my mind. And so this chiropractor comes and works on my shoulder, and my shoulder feels great. But I don't know, like you are an actual physician. What are your thoughts on chiropractors?
Well, they've been studied, for example, treating back pain, and chiropractics do really well. Part of it is they understand the body in a different way than more traditional, medical doctors like me think about the body. But that's not a bad thing. That's wisdom that we're not taught in medical school, that chiropractors learn in their own schools, and they actually have their own literature. They use muscle and bone manipulation. There are some things I wouldn't do. Like I don't like the neck manipulations. I just don't think that's worth the risk. And there are some delicate arteries in your neck that you want to protect.
Oh.
But a lot of the back manipulation, I think it makes sense. And again, the studies show that people get resolution of their symptoms from that as well as they do from many other approaches.
So, okay, I just have heard work on my shoulder and like my wrist. So, but that seems pretty good to you, just generally speaking.
Yeah, I've gone to chiropractics. I mean, I've had my problems dealt with effectively by chiropractors. So I have personal experience. I happen to like folks in the field, and I think they're providing support to people who don't want to go see a surgeon for back surgery, because you definitely don't want to do that if you can avoid it. And same for shoulders. The shoulders joint is like a golf ball on a tee. So it's very flexible, but if you chip the tee, the golf ball falls off. That's what happens to unstable shoulders. And people don't exercise their shoulders. Even a simple activity like reaching over to the back of the car to pick up something from the back seat, people rip their shoulders all the time with those maneuvers. So there's some simple exercises that avoid that. Chiropractors can teach those.
On your show tomorrow, I was looking, and it's about Britney Spears. And so what's happening with her now? I know you guys are talking about this on your show tomorrow, but what are you seeing? What are you seeing in the future with Britney?
Well, Britney was under a conservatorship because she was having mental health issues, and the courts have to look at all the data, and they say, well, is she a danger or she can take advantage of? And they thought that she was. She clearly at this point doesn't want that kind of protection. She certainly doesn't want it from her father. Normally you go to relatives because they're more likely to be loyal to you and do what's in your best interest, tough love, so to speak, than someone who's enabling you. But in Britney's case, it's not worked that well. Her father's given back the conservatorship. Interestingly, Britney's lawyers aren't taking it back yet. They don't want it back because they don't want him off the hook for things that may have gone down. So on the show, we're talking to people who are sort of inside the camp. Everyone's trying to be supportive of Britney, but this is it's an ugly scenario. And if she was taken advantage of, shame on everybody who did that. And if she wasn't, what is going to happen to Britney in the future? Who's going to protect her when she does have bouts where she's doing things that maybe aren't in her best interest? And this gets to the bigger issue that you can be brilliant and incredibly talented. And in fact, it seems to happen a lot to people who are brilliant and incredibly talented, but you also have some weak spots, some blind spots, and you don't want people taking advantage of those.
It seems like, again, if I'm interpreting what you're saying, like there is nuance in this, and it's not that it's just free Britney, let her run and just be totally free. And it's also not, hey, let's not keep her as locked down as she is right now. Is nuance a word that would seem like it'd be appropriate here?
This is why you're a world-class radio host. It's the perfect word. And I think if you think about your own life and your own family, there's nuance in a lot of the relationships that are most precious to you. There's a woman who's obviously able to perform and make money and be successful. So she should have the right to do all those things and control her assets. But someone's got to be hovering a little bit to make sure that she doesn't go off the rails. And you know what it's like? If you have a really great sports car, right, and just a little something's wrong with it, everybody can hear it because normally it's purring so beautifully. That's how I think about Britney. And so if those spark plugs aren't firing at the same time and the wheels are coming off the vehicle, those are things we want to be careful of because it's high-speed collision if it does occur.
I want to ask one more question for you here. This is from one of our guys on the show. It says he doesn't fall asleep well, but he also can't stay asleep. He wakes up 3 to 4 times a night, never gets great sleep. Is there something that he can try to add to his nighttime routine to help him get asleep and stay asleep?
Yes, and he should, because sleep problems are the number one addressable cause of illness in America. It's a gargantuan problem. And probably $1 trillion of lost revenue just from people not being efficient because they show up at work and they're just, can't get out of their own way. So a couple of things. First of all, you want to exactly measure your sleep. There's something called Sleep Score. It's a free app, Sleep Score. Pull it down off the App Store and then use that at nighttime to measure your sleep. The bottom of your phone where you hear stuff, it's actually has a little sonar beam that comes out there, like a dolphin. So it can actually measure your sleep and tell you exactly how long you're waiting to go to sleep, how many times you wake up, how long are you awake when you wake up, dates, so you can actually make some intelligent decisions about your problem. The number one problem most people have is they ruminate when they sleep. Their mind is working out all the issues during their day. So get a little pad of paper and write down your biggest concerns so it frees them from you. So you can think about them in the morning, but you're not going to fix them at 3 a.m. So why bother having them in your head? And also you need a sleep hygiene routine. Just a regular old routine. Yeah, wash your face, brush your teeth, but turn the lights down, get into comfortable pajamas or no pajamas, which is even better so you can be free. Get the temperature of the room cold. Colder is better. You'll hibernate. And then make sure you don't have crazy noises and other things going on, like pets jumping in the bed. If you do those things, you'll sleep deeper when you do fall asleep. And one last little tip, most people have to go to the bathroom at least once during the night. Do not turn on all the lights. It wakes your brain up, wakes your spouse up. Just memorize the path, put some little red lights down so you can find your way. That way, when you wake up for 10 minutes to go potty, it's not going to keep you up for 2 hours.
On tomorrow's show, it's Justice for Brittany. On today's show, the Surgeon General breaks down the biggest COVID debates. What are a few of the things that you guys talk about that's still being debated about?
Well, this is a heated show. You're going to witness it. I just recorded it. So the couple issues. First off, we have a pill now for the first time can dramatically reduce the problems of COVID by half if you take the pill when you first get sick. And the question I'm asking is, what took so long? How can we have invented vaccines, proven they work with more than 100,000 people in trials, get them out to 200 million Americans, and we still don't have a pill that works? And the reason is we didn't prioritize. So I want to understand why we're only now finding out that we have a pill that can work so well. Can we do better in enrolling people in clinical trials so that we can learn about these pills? Things like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, we just don't know. It's not that they work or don't work. We literally don't have data. We should have known these answers a long time ago. So that's the first issue. And this second big issue I'm going to be pushing down hard on is this issue about whether we give kids vaccines or not. And the government is saying, well, we think these vaccines work in kids 5 to 15 or 18. We're going to approve them later this month, probably. The FDA is going to approve it for younger kids, kids in middle school and, from ages 5 to 11, elementary school. But many parents are going to say, I don't want my kids to be a shield. I'm not worried about them. Most kids do not get hurt badly from COVID. Why would I give them a vaccine? Because it's brand new. And that's a difficult decision. California just mandated you must give your kids these vaccines when they're available. But I think many states are going to struggle with that decision. And I was discussing with the Surgeon General, who's a friend and I respect a lot, what the best tact is. Because if you force parents to do this, you're going to have a lot of unhappy school board meetings.
Yeah.
And you still feel like the COVID vaccine is safe? Please say yes, because I got it, and I don't need to hear opposite.
It's definitely safe. Are there side effects? Yes. But it's like a doctor always has to do. You got to weigh the benefits from the disadvantages. In the times when it's causing complications, those complications worse than what would have happened if you didn't get the vaccine. And I think that without any question, that getting vaccinated is a safer path to take than not getting vaccinated. But people do have fevers. They do get soreness in their arms. Some of them get myocarditis and other issues happen. It's not that they're 100% never going to have an issue with them. But whatever issues happen are relatively small compared to the consequences of not being vaccinated.
Today's show, the COVID debate. Tomorrow's show, Britney Spears, which I'm very interested in. You guys watch Dr. Oz. It's such a good show. The smartest guy we have on the show is Dr. Oz. Hey, Dr. Oz, always love talking with you. Thank you for the time.
I love you. Hey, one question. Are you going to film your colonoscopy?
Uh-huh.
I thought I was going to be knocked out. I got a whole new world to think about now. I didn't know I was going to be awake. I mean,
you're going to be twilighting, so you won't film it yourself, but you could have a close confidant like one of your co-hosts just go in there with the phone, videotape the thing.
Is that legal?
I want close-ups of your face.
Can you?
If your doc, yeah, it's legal. I filmed mine, and I think actually I'm only bringing it up because you've got so many followers that if someone was actually telling your story, at least whatever the doctor's comfortable being told, and if you're okay with it, I think it would actually open a lot of doors.
We'll send Amy with you.
The loser has to do it. Paper, rock, scissors.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Oz, thank you. That's something for sure we need to talk about. I mean, I've been open about it because I hope people actually go, and if something ain't right, even before, I'm not supposed to get it yet. According to whatever I looked up on the internet, it's like 45 or 47, and I'm 41, but I'm like, hey, I'm going to go do it, and I'm going to share with my listeners why I'm doing it. So I think that's definitely something for us to talk about. So I appreciate that.
It's the best screening test we have in medicine because not only does it diagnose problems, it treats them at the same time.
All right, Dr. Oz, everybody. Good to see you, Dr. Oz.
God bless. Take care.
This is about